us all enjoy it. This is Jack Williams speaking to you from the studios of KOY Radio, 550 amplitude modulation in downtown Phoenix. Too bad folks in the Midwest are still suffering with drought. And since the price of bread skyrocketing to 8 cents a loaf, and a pound of ground round will send you back 12 cents. We've heard a lot about unemployment lately, but O'Malley's Lumber just added a second shift at the 16th Street Yard. Nice work if you can get it. Fingers crossed the weather holds for the rodeo parade next week. Our newly crowned cotton maid, Margaret Alice Dupree, will be riding on the big float. But right now, let's get back to the happy music on KOY. Hey, Fred, why are we talking about this?
Oh, Pat? Oh, that's too hot.
I'll say a double homicide.
Oh, it's too hot.
2 female bodies found in moving trunks.
It's too hot.
They just made an arrest. It's a woman.
Listen to me, Jack. It is too damn hot.
What are you, a weather report? This is front page news.
Exactly. This is newspaper. This is radio. We play music. We entertain. We don't do news.
Well, I'm just saying that if we can find a way to...
All right, Jack, listen. I was in Tom's cabin last night. Here's the skinny. There's too many big shots involved. It's too messy. They don't want any more casualties than necessary. Leave it all in the papers. We can mention it later. After it cools off.
In Phoenix, we'll be waiting till Christmas.
Just keep playing the happy music, Jack. That's what we do. That's your job. Playing the happy music, taking out the trash, and leave us all enjoying.
Mrs. Judd, employed in hand and weak from hunger, surrenders in Los Angeles. Says she slew women in battle with her own life. She is easy on the eye.
I did it. Did I? I think I did. I remember pulling the trigger, but that is not the whole story. As for the rest, the truth is a tricky thing to pin down. It's slippery, and memory can be downright deceitful. It was so long ago, I was only 26 at the time. And even when you do remember, you might not always tell the truth because the truth can hurt. Everyone is guilty of something. I am guilty of many things, but not the crime that I was accused of. I confess, I had been keeping company with Mr. Halloran. Anne and Sammy were my dear friends, and if it had not been for Jack Halloran, they would still be alive today.
Sammy, this is the gal I was telling you about, Ruth Judd. Happy to meet you, Ruth. I'm Sammy. So you work with Anne at the clinic?
Oh, yes, but I'm just the bookkeeper, and she works with the doctors and the x-ray machines. Oh, I could never do that.
Oh, Ruth's a bridge player, too. Great. How about a game Saturday night?
Oh, well, we'll need a board.
Oh, we know plenty of boards.
Okay.
Why don't you stay for dinner, and we'll introduce you to a couple of them.
Oh, that would be lovely. It's been a little lonely with my husband working in Mexico.
When the cat's away.
Anne and Sammy were my tragedy. Jack was my sin.
What's cooking, cutie?
Jack, you're such a tease.
Oh, get over here and get your pants. I love that.
Well, you're not really my man. Not while we're both married.
A toast.
Jack Halloran. How do you always manage to find bootleg giggle water?
Oh, connections, baby, connections. You're looking at a prime mover.
What are we celebrating?
Today is Liberation Day. The family's packed off up to the mountains until September. Winnie Ruth Judd, would you do me the honor of becoming my summer wife?
There you go, just teasing me again.
Who's teasing? We're free to be together whenever we like.
That would be nice. Oh, I would love to go out dancing with you, Jack.
We could dance right here in your apartment. Open the window and we can get a radio from next door. Just the two of us. I want you all to myself.
All right.
You got any ice?
Soon after that, my husband, Dr. Judd, returned from Mexico, where he was looking for work.
I returned, my love. Oh, things didn't work out in old Mexico.
Oh, well, I'm sure you will find something soon. Oh, are you living?
Oh, my dogs are really barking. I believe I'll turn in. Oh, no. You stay up, my dear. I believe I'll take my tincture of poppy seed and try to get some sleep.
All right. Oh, I loved my husband. Honestly, I did. But there was a distance between us. He had been injured in the Great War and developed a fondness for opium. It rendered him, well, let's just say he couldn't take care of his homework. Oh, I vowed to see Jack no more. I thought that I'd put my sin behind me. And then I made the mistake of introducing him to Ann and Sammy.
Come to daddy!
He became a constant visitor in their home.
Oh, Ruth.
Oh, my dear Dr. Judd, whom I really love.
And I love you, Ruth.
Oh, yes. I hear that doctor would soon learn about my previous friendship with Jack.
Get your glad rags on, girlies. Let's go find us a juice joint.
They promised to keep my secret, and we went on with our lives, but then around October,
Ruth, I have a job offer in Los Angeles. I'll miss you terribly, my dear.
and that's when the troubles began.
The trial of the century got underway today for Winnie Ruth Judd as she stood before a jury of her peers. 12 men. They will decide whether she's guilty or not for the brutal murder of her friend, Anne Leroy. Friend, how does she treat her enemies?
Jack, what the hell are you doing?
Just reading some headlines from the paper, Fred.
I thought we agreed to let this cool off.
It's been 3 months. If it hasn't cooled off yet, it's never going to.
Just wait until the trial is over. Hold that thought.
KOY, Jack Williams speaking.
Hello, Mr. Williams. This is Donna G. Mikowski. I just heard what you said about Winnie Ruth Judd. I must say, I find this story fascinating.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
Do you think she did it?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I certainly hope not.
No more headlines.
She strikes me as a very nice young Christian lady.
When your shift is over, I want you in my office.
Her father's a minister, you know. I went to the courthouse today to watch the trial, but I couldn't get inside. There was a line of people stretched around the block.
It's a hot ticket, Donna Jean.
We all saw her walk into the building. Such an itty-bitty thing. I don't see how she could pack those poor souls into a steamer trunk. You know what I think?
Not yet.
I think Winnie Ruth Judd is a patsy taking the fall for some high mucky mucks around here.
Well, now, that is an interesting theory.
I'm gonna get there bright and early tomorrow so I can get a seat inside. Ooh, I'll let you know what happens.
I'm counting on you, Donna Jean.
I want them to put that Playboy Halloran on the stand. Let's hear what he has to say. I think she's covered up for that rascal.
Now, you be sure to call back with the latest.
Ooh, you bet I will. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye, Donna Jean. Why would Winnie Ruth Judd take the fall for Halloween? Even if he's good, he can't be that good.
Shortly after Dr. Judd moved to Los Angeles, I moved in with Ann and Sammy so that we could share expenses. At first, it was a lot of fun and we became very good friends. But I soon got a much clearer come from?
They just delivered in Jackson, Sonoma. Oh,
Jack Halloran.
yeah. Wasn't that nice of them?
That must have cost a fortune.
I saw the price on the invoice when I signed for it. $57!
That's crazy. He takes such good care of us.
It's so nice having music around the house.
Oh, it certainly is. Nearly as nice as having a man around the house. Oh, don't you think so, Ruth?
Well, don't just stand there, you two. Come in, come in. Dr. Brown, so good to see you outside the clinic.
Hope you don't mind my tagging along.
Of course not. The more the merrier. May I take your hats?
Thank you.
Well, looky here. I see my gift arrived.
That's some handsome radio, Jack.
It certainly is.
Oh, it's the 5-tubular model.
What's set you back a few dollars?
Oh, a mere token of my affection. Hello, Ruthie.
Good evening, Jack. It's a little extravagant.
Oh, nothing's too good for my gals.
Everyone have a seat.
Come on, Jack, let's dance. You and me, cheek to cheek.
Oh, no need to twist my arm.
Ruth, honey, why don't you go and turn up your radio?
It's 8 o'clock. Time for Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, that's right. Tonight he's investigating a double murder.
Ooh, I've got the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it.
Let's take a breather, Anne.
Oh, yes, Anne. Take a breather.
It's starting.
It's the Sherlock Holmes Mystery Hour. The adventures of the world's greatest detective who, without this trusty colleague Dr. Watson, solved the strangest crimes in Victorian England.
Come, Watson. The game is afoot.
Tally-ho, Holmes! Look at the constabulary back of evil rears its ugly head when the innocent cry out for truth.
Sherlock Holmes at your service.
Tonight's mystery, homicide ×2.
The Sherlock Holmes Mystery Hour is brought to you by Luminol.
If you're tired of counting sheep, here's the way to get some sleep. Rain or shine, cold or heat, Luminol really can't be beat.
When sleep is essential, Luminol is eventful. Available at all finer drugstores.
Fred, I just need 5 minutes.
All right, Jack. Let's hear what you got.
Winnie Ruth Judd.
What? Haven't we settled this already? Or what, you think I haven't seen these? Yeah, it's crazy, but this is news. We make entertainment.
You don't think people find this entertaining?
Oh, it's salacious.
Right, and people can't get enough of it. It's on the front page of every newspaper. The courtroom is packed every day. Everyone wants to read all about it, but what if everyone can hear all about it?
Hear it. You mean microphones in the courtroom? Judge Speakman would never allow it.
No, I mean we hire a writer to sit in the courtroom, and he writes down everything that everyone says that day, and then that night we recreate the proceedings on the air.
You mean with actors?
Just like Orson Welles.
Is that even legal? No. I mean, it's too gruesome. A cut up body and blood all over the place. No. But hey, you know one of those party girls had to be a lesbian.
Don't be so conservative in your estimation, Freddie, my boy. It takes 2 to tango. Hey, I have spoken about Winnie Ruth Judd exactly twice on the air. This is yesterday's mail regarding the same. The switchboard, it's been lit up all day. Calls offering theories, personal messages for Winnie. People can't get enough of it. There's an audience for this, Fred. Look.
The truth about Winnie Ruth Judd. Where'd this come from?
Her brother, he's selling it to raise money for her defense.
I thought Hearst was picking up her legal tab.
Ah, William Randolph, I own every newspaper on the planet. Hearst, he is. But her brother is still selling the magazine. Why? Probably to make a little something on the side. Why shouldn't we? Come on, Fred, let's give this a shot. It'll cost less than your tab at Tom's Tavern. When could you have it ready? We can go on the air tonight. Mr. Palmer, meet Stewart, our humble scribe.
Hello. Oh, yes, pleased to meet you, Mr. Hummel. Likewise, Mr. Palmer. Wait, my name is actually Stu. Stu here will set the day's court proceedings to paper. And how much is this going to cost us? $1 a day. Oh, $1! I guess we can swing that. Once Stu presents me with the script, the KOI players will take to the airwaves with a live, exclusive dramatization of the trial of the century. Well, when you put it like that, you'll never regret this, Fred. Wow, I never figured he'd say yes. Technically, he didn't. Now you're going to need lots of paper. KOI, Jack Williams, at your service.
Yeah, hi there. I've never called a radio station before, but I have a request.
Certainly, KOI plays all the hits you love to hear. What's your name and what's your request?
My name is none of your damn business. What I'd like to hear is more music and less about that lady killer.
Oh, I assume you're referring to Winnie Ruth Judd.
That's her. That bitch deserves to burn in hell for what she did.
That's a strong opinion.
Right. My kids listen to the radio and they don't need to be hearing about murder and evil in their own goddamn living room. They're impressionable.
Noted. You might want to turn off your radio tonight. Go bowling. You got the scripts?
Yes, but I never used carbon paper before. I hope they can read it.
Perfect. If I can read it, anyone can.
First witness. Second witness. We don't have a prosecutor.
I can do it.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Just speak
Defense
the voice
attorney.
of it. It's radio. No one will notice. Thank you, Stu. Shake a leg, everyone. We're starting.
This is radio station KOI in Phoenix, Arizona. At 55.5 modulation on your receiver. Presenting the trial of the century. The state of Arizona versus Winnie Ruth Judd. Piece of carrots, piece of carrots, piece of carrots, piece of carrots.
Hear ye, hear ye! This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Speakman presiding.
Thank you, bailiff.
My pleasure, Your Honor. Be seated.
Let the record show that the jury is present, the state represented by Mr. Andrews, and the defendant represented by Mr. Lukowitz. The defendant will rise and the clerk will read the charges.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Arizona, defendant number 11,340, Winnie Ruth Judd, is accused of the crime of murder, of felony. On or about the 16th day of October 1931, she did willfully, with premeditated malice of forethought, murder one Agnes Ann Leroy, a human being.
How does the defendant plead?
Your Honor, the defendant pleads not guilty.
Let the record show the defendant has entered a plea of not guilty. Mr. Andrews, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge Speakman. The state calls Mrs. Jenny R. McGrath to the stand.
Miss Jenny R. McGrath to the stand, please.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
You just said my name twice already.
We need you to state your name for the record, Miss McGrath.
It hasn't changed in the last 10 seconds. Jenny R. McGrath, just like what they said.
And where did you live on the night of October 16th, 1931?
I live at 2938 North 3rd Street in the rear.
Speak a little louder, please.
In the rear!
And about how far from the premises of 2929 North 2nd Street do you reside?
I judge near about 100 feet.
Now, referring to the night of October 16th, did you hear any unusual noises that night?
I heard 3 shots.
Will you indicate about how far apart those shots were?
As near as I can describe it. I was in bed in the screen room.
Thank you. That is all.
Mr. Lukowitz, your cross-examination.
May we know your age, Miss McGrath?
I am 67 years old last December.
And you said you were living in shot from any other kind of shot.
Yes, sir. I've been accustomed to using shotguns, firearms, guns.
You know the difference between a shotgun and a pistol?
Is he calling me stupid, Judge?
Objection!
I may be old, but I'm not feeble-minded.
Please just answer the question, Miss McGrath.
Yes, I know the difference between a pistol and a shotgun.
After the shots, did you hear any other noises in the neighborhood?
No, it was quiet except for the streetcars.
You didn't hear the sound like a dragging box or trunk?
From 100 feet away. That'd be a stretch even for your young years, Mr. Lukowitz.
We'll return after this word from our sponsor with more actual testimony to her from today's trial of Winnie Ruth Judd, the Tiger Woman.
And hello to the future.
Tiger Woman?
You like it?
It's colorful.
It's sexy, the Tiger Woman.
Okay, stand by. I'm on the back in 10. Stu. Ixnay on the IBT.
Okay.
That's the Sheet Electric Razor, available at all finer department stores.
And now we return to the dramatic reenactment for today's proceeding of the trial of Winnie Ruth Judd. The slashing siren! Woo! State Prosecutor Lloyd Andrews questions the man who moved the trunks of death, Richard Schwartz.
Referring to the night in question, did you receive a telephone call at the Lightning Delivery Company?
Yes, a woman called at approximately 10 minutes to 10. She gave the address of 2929 North 2nd Street, and I proceeded there.
And was the defendant there to meet you?
Objection, leading the witness.
Sustained.
And who did you see there, if anyone?
I pulled up to the curb, the front door opened, and a woman came out on the front porch.
Oh, I'm here. I apologize for the lights being out. I'm leaving, you see, and the power company, they shut off my electricity. Come on up.
I was just about to drive home.
Well, the trunks are over here. We'll have to transact our business by my lantern. I want these trunks taken to the station immediately so that so that I can make the 1040 train.
There's no need to be embarrassed, miss. I've seen my fair share of folks trying to skip out on the rent. Your secret's safe with me. Good God, woman, what's in that thing?
Books mostly. My husband, he's a doctor, and he needs his books with him in California.
There's no way you'll be able to claim this on the ticket. The accessible weight limit is 250 pounds, and that is at least 400.
Well, I can't pay excess on the ticket.
It doesn't matter. You won't be able to claim it. You'll have to ship it as freight. I can hold it for you overnight.
No! I believe I'll have you take it to my house. That is my sister's house, and we'll have it shipped in the morning.
Note yourself. Has this floor been varnished recently? The trunks seem to be sticking to it.
No.
She smiled when you asked her about her sticky floor.
Yes, sir.
If only Mr. Schwartz knew the grisly content of the gruesome trunks. And what was it that made the floor so sticky? Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the next installment of the true life recreation of the trial of Winnie Ruth Judd, the Blood Butcher!
Okay, wonderful job, everyone. Thank you. Great work, Doc. Hey, good work, man. That was awesome. Great work, everyone. Have a good night. Juan Butcher.
I've been working on the list. The enticing executioner, the downright dismember.
Can I see
Don't you
that?
like them?
Palmer was listening tonight.
I sure hope so. He said it would be salacious.
Do you know what that means?
Maybe not.
Good morning, Phoenix. It's another beautiful day in Arizona. Leave us all enjoying. Say, did any of you happen to listen to the Winnie Ruth Judd broadcast on KOY last night? It was a real barn burner. Tune in tonight for another dramatic recreation of the trial of the century. We really hope we can do it again for you.
something about the ionosphere. Exactly. A God-given atmospheric phenomenon of nature, giving our signal the power to be heard from Hawaii to Newfoundland. Last night.
We can tone it down. I'll talk to Stu. We can make some changes.
Oh, change nothing! That was brilliant! That was the most compelling radio drama I've ever heard. And do you know why?
It was salacious.
It was the truth. And the audience knew it. It was real. It was reality, Jack. You invented reality radio. Look at this.
The Winnie Ruth Judd broadcast. Stop. Fascinating. Stop. Please don't stop. Stop. Sincerely, Florence Noseworthy. Planet Rock, Bill Lyle.
Oh! Call it a tiger.
Stu, don't go anywhere. Fred has something he wants to tell us.
Gentlemen, I just wanted to say that.
Mr. Palmer! I need some help. The phones, they just won't stop.
I will be right there, Nancy. She's about to have a nervous breakdown. Isn't it wonderful? Yeah, wonderful! Whoa, wait. What are you still doing?
Well, I work here, so I work.
You should be at the trial. Right. Go!
But the trial doesn't start for another 2 hours.
You can't be too early, Stu.
In this business, early is on time. And young man, I'm giving you a raise. $1.50 a day.
Oh, hot diggity!
Look at these guys. Los Angeles, Chicago, New York.
Wow, this is something else.
You bet your sweet bivouac gets something else. You want to sell chic electric razors at all finer drugstores? How about all finer drugstores in the Northern Hemisphere? Oh, honey, we are in the money. Everyone wants more news about Winnie Ruth Judd.
News?
Hell yes.
Oh, that's too bad. We don't do news here at KOY. We just play the happy music, right, Fred?
Oh, give me something to hit you with. This is supply and demand. Now, I demand. We supply. Now, how much longer do you think the trial's got?
I don't know. 3, 4 weeks, maybe?
Oh, well, let us make hay while the sun doth shine, my monocular friend. In addition to the nightly broadcasts, I want reports at the top of the hour every hour. The latest on the trunk murderess. Or is that too tame? Should we call the tiger woman? I don't know. What do you?
I think Stu should get $2 a day.
Personally, I love the blonde butcher, but we may need to build to that one.
Mr. Palmer!
Oh, I'm coming, Nancy!
KOY, Jack Williams.
Oh, finally! I've been getting a busy signal for an hour. It's Donna Jean Mikowski again.
Oh, hello, Donna Jean. Have you been keeping up with the trial?
Oh, my, yes. And I must say, you folks are doing a marvelous job with your radio skits. Although the gals in my Bible study group do have a few suggestions.
Do tell.
Oh, well, first of all, that is I and my Bible study group, the Snoring Sisters. We attend the trials together, don't you know? We think it's important that your listening audience is the unvarnished truth.
That's what we're aiming for, Donna Jean, the truth.
Well, when you refer to Mrs.
priest in here? Hopefully the money from the trial will fix that.
I want to tell my story to the jury.
That would be risky.
I can tell them that I wasn't there when the trunks were packed.
Is that the truth?
Would you like it to be?
Whose idea was it to pack the trunks?
I can't say. He needs my protection.
For the love of Ruth! If you are found guilty and sane, you'll hang. I have a pretty good idea of who this he is, but if I'm going to help you, I must have the truth.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Ruth, you look lovely.
Oh, thank you, Jack.
And that dress. Now this gives me some ideas.
Well, I wore it just for you. I know it's your favorite.
Baby, you smell like heaven.
Well, I feel like I'm in heaven when I'm in your arms.
Let's sit down for a while.
Jack,
Yes.
I love you so much.
Yes, that's good.
I don't know where this will lead us.
Oh, paradise, baby. Straight to paradise.
See, I just don't know if I could do this sort of thing with someone that I didn't love.
Well, lucky for us, Ruthie, I love doing this sort of thing.
Jack, I just need to hear it first. I need to hear it from you.
Doesn't that say it all?
Yes. Almost. I love you, Jack.
And I love you, Ruthie. Indeed, I do. I love you very, very much.
I don't want to let the world go by. I love
You're avoiding the question.
I was stupid to believe him. For me, it was love. For him, it was transactional. I know that now.
Nevertheless, I need to know what happened at the house that night.
I don't like to think about it.
I know, just go slow.
You have to understand. I had several sleepless nights. I tried taking luminol, but it didn't help me sleep. It did make the memory of everything fuzzy. There was going to be a party at Ann and Sammy's, and Jack Halloran wanted me to invite some other girl, so I suggested Mary Moore. She's a pretty little nurse who had been taking Salvarsan.
Salvarsan? She has syphilis?
No! Not now. I saw no harm. She's pretty and she could be interesting. We get to the party and a couple of Jack's friends were there. The girls didn't like it, so we left and we went back to my place. It was a nice, quiet evening. I truly didn't even take a drink. The next night, Anne invited me over to play bridge, so I took the streetcar to their house. It got to be so late that I decided to just spend the night with Sammy and Anne. The next morning, that's when the quarrel began.
Oh, Lord. That happy Jack has one big appetite.
Yeah, he's a real meat and potatoes guy.
I guess that's one way to put it.
When we get settled, I'll have to brush up on my cooking skills.
Settle?
Oh, I hope our first baby is a boy so that we can name him Jack Jr. What's so funny?
Get a grip. You're nothing special to Jack. You're just another cow in the corral.
No, he said I'm the only one.
This isn't even his only house. He's got a damn harem of summer wives, which is fine by us. We get taken care of, and he and his friends get taken care of. Quid pro quo.
You take that back or I'll tell Jack.
Tell Jack what? That you think this is a girl
She isn't even contagious. The doctors let her work in nursing.
He certainly won't think much of you for doing such a thing.
Well, if you tell him that, I'll tell him that you two are perverts.
Now that costs extra. Why do you think he bought us the radio? When I tell him that you introduced him to girls with syphilis, he won't have a thing to do with you.
Sammy, I'll shoot you if you tell him! Then Sammy ran out of the room. She came back with a gun, and she said that she would shoot me, so I threw my hand over the mouth of the gun, and I grabbed a knife. Sammy shot me in the hand, so I knocked her down, threw all of my weight on her, and grabbed an ironing board and brained me with it. Somehow I got the gun away from Sammy. And I shot her. Anne wouldn't stop attacking me, so I shot her too. I'm so sorry that Sammy shot me. Whether it was the pain or what, I killed them. There was no harm introducing this nurse. She was very pretty to the men. She was cured of her social disease.
All right, people, look live. We go on the air in 90 seconds. Let's keep the energy up tonight, huh? Treat it like Shakespeare. This time of night, KOI signal is reaching halfway around the globe. It is the biggest audience that you will ever have. We're picking it up with Prosecutor Andrews' direct examination of the LA Railroad worker, George Brooker. Make it sing. In 5, 4, 3.
And now it's time for the trial of Winnie Ruth Judd. The prosecution case is heating up. What gruesome evidence was revealed at the LA train depot? Let's listen in as the shocking details continue to unfold.
Piece of carrots, piece of carrots, piece of carrots, piece of carrots.
Order of the court.
You remember this lady very distinctly, don't you? Yes, sir. Tell me why. She had her hand bandaged up. Like she has now. Who? Her. The lady at the table. The lady with the bandaged hand? Yes. What? Her. How did you identify her in court? As the lady who claimed the trunks. The lady with the bandaged hand? The lady with the claim check. Who? Her. Would you identify the lady with the claim check without the bandaged hand? And she's the one who claimed the trunks. Her. Who? The lady at the table. Yes. What? Yes. The lady with the bandaged hand. Who? What? I don't know.
Third base. Move on, gentlemen.
Sorry, Your Honor. The trunks arrived in Los Angeles on October 19th. Is that right? That's right. And what, if anything, attracted your attention to the trunk? I noticed an offensive odor coming from the large black trunk. Did you make an examination of the trunks at that time? I did. And what did your examination disclose? Blood dripping from one corner of it. What happened when the defendant arrived to claim the trunks? I asked who the trunks belonged to. She answered,
To me?
Ma'am, do you notice anything peculiar pertaining to these here trunks?
Oh, I can't say that I do.
Step a little closer. Tell me if you smell a strong odor.
No, can't smell a thing.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, now I can, but I can't imagine what's causing it.
What do the trunks contain?
Personal effects and clothing.
What about this here liquid dripping from the side of the trunk?
Oh, how strange. Whatever could that be?
You know, we've had quite a problem with poachers as of late. This wouldn't happen to be contraband deer meat now.
Oh, heavens, no.
We're going to have to open the trunks to inspect the contents.
Of course. We must. Let me see. I must have them here. Darn. I can't seem to locate the keys. You know, I'll have to leave and return with my husband. He must have them.
ever return to claim the trunks?
She did not.
What did you do then?
I notified the police department and asked them to send someone down to the station to open the trunks.
And what was revealed to view when the trunks were opened?
What was revealed when the trunk was open? Find out after this commercial message.
Are you tired of wasting money on moldy vegetables?
Back in 60 seconds, everyone.
Holy crowd, you scared me half to death.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scream. I guess I just got caught up in the moment.
No, it was perfect, Nancy. It was just the sort of pizzazz that we needed.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
You know, we're coming into the next scene with the trunks and the second body, and we really need something to drive home that image. Just like that.
Heard right. Frozen food from Bird's Eye. Available at all finer grocery stores.
Now, let's return to the testimony of the Los Angeles station master as LA police are about to open the terrifying trunks.
The large trunk contained the body of Agnes and Leroy in a state of advanced decomposition.
And the other pieces of her baggage.
They contained the dismembered body of Hedwig Samuelson.
Thank you, Mr. Booker. That is all.
Mr. Lukowitz, cross-examination?
Nothing, Your Honor. Although we renew our objection to the admissibility of the Samuelson evidence. Mrs. Judd is only on the trial for the murder of Anne Leroy.
Overruled. Call your next witness.
Prosecution calls R.R. Creasy, Deputy Coroner of the City of Los Angeles. Mr. Creasy, you performed the autopsies on the bodies of Miss Hedwig Samuelson and Miss Anne Leroy, is that right?
That I did.
Could you describe the condition of the two bodies?
The body of Miss Leroy was intact.
What was the condition of Miss Samuelson?
She had been disassembled.
No outbursts, so have the bailiff clear this courtroom.
Could you be more specific?
Certainly. Severed at the waist, neck, and knees, the body was divided between two pieces of luggage. The head and legs were placed in the large suitcase, while the torso was placed in the trunk, along with books, letters, diplomas, a woman's purse, and a pair of ice skates.
Now, what did the woman's purse contain, if anything?
Among other detritus, there were 2 empty shells of .25 caliber and 1 lead bullet of .38 caliber.
Now, were the contents of the luggage ruined with blood?
Not as much as you would think. You see, the bodies were exsanguinated.
Layman's terms, please.
Drained of blood.
Bailiff, remove the young woman from the courtroom, please.
Not surprising with a hemosected body, the knees were disarticulated. Without some skill as a doctor, operating room technician, or as a butcher, it wouldn't be all that easy to do.
Stay tuned for the sudden conclusion of tonight's episode, The Bloody Trunks of Terror!
If you're like me, you're sick and tired of strip screwing.
We're running a little long. Let's keep the drama, but step up the pace, okay? I think that we need to cut the testimony from the ballistics expert and the police detective and go straight to the housekeeper.
No! Hold on, Jack. The detective is going to explain how the crime scene was contaminated by the landlord dime tours. Can we dump the housekeeper instead?
No, I've been working so hard on my French accent. I used to clean and work houses there twice a week.
10 seconds, Jack.
House bounce, page 56, nurse with the clap.
Shit!
Phillips Screw and Dryer. Available at all finer hardware stores.
Welcome back to the trial that has a stranglehold on the nation with one hand and a bucket of blood in the other. Which one is state case and process?
Piece of carrots, piece of carrots, piece of carrots, piece of carrots.
State your name, please.
Mary Louise Moore.
And what is your occupation?
I am a registered nurse.
Calling your attention to Thursday evening, the 15th day of last October, did you see the defendant on that
Judd came to my home about 7 o'clock that evening.
And who, if anybody, did you see accompany her there at that time?
Mr. Jack Halloran.
After the defendant, Mrs. Judd, and Jack Halloran arrived at your home, where, if any place, did you go?
We went to the home of Miss Samuelson and Miss Leroy.
Now, Miss Moore, when you arrived at the home, did you or Miss Judd go inside?
No, we both stayed in the car and Mr. Halloran went inside. Mrs. Judd didn't want to see Anne because
Anne was trying to take Jack away from her.
She said,
I get so angry about Jack and Anne that I could go crazy or die.
Go crazy or die?
Yes. Mr. Halloran returned to the car and brought 2 men with him, Dr. Brown and another man I didn't recognize. They got in the car and we went over to Mrs. Judd's apartment. When I found out that Dr. Judd wasn't there, I asked them to take me home.
Now, why did you ask to go home?
My reputation. It was obvious these men had expectations. Shameful enough for Anne and Sammy, but Ruth was a married woman. I had no desire to become someone's summer wife.
Summer wife. Could you define that term for the court?
No need. We're familiar with the term, Miss Moore.
Thank you.
And you believe Mrs. Judd was Jack Halloran's summer wife?
Objection.
No, I'll allow it. The witness may answer.
Yes, it pains me to say, but Ruth was head over heels for Mr. Halloran and thought he would leave his wife and kids for her. Please, he was a scoundrel, but still a practicing Catholic. Ruth was deluded and unbalanced.
Objection.
And she certainly wasn't going to let Anne and Sammy stand in the way of her ridiculous fantasy.
Your Honor.
She was bound and determined to have Mr. Halloran, no matter the cost.
I will have order in my courtroom.
Oh, Mary Louise Moore, I would wring your scrawny little neck if I wasn't afraid of getting syphilis.
This witness has no expertise in psychiatry.
The prosecution rests its case.
Your Honor, this is ridiculous.
You'll have your turn, Mr. Lukowitz. This court stands in recess. We'll reconvene tomorrow night on KOY. We'll reconvene tomorrow morning in the courtroom.
That's right, the courtroom. Join us tomorrow night to find out what happens tomorrow morning in the trial of the century. The state of Arizona versus the homicidal Hellcat.
Okay, wonderful job, everyone. Streets up the board.
That courthouse was a zoo. I could barely make it out, what with the photographers, the reporters, and that horrible little man from the radio station.
Hey!
Tomorrow, it will be my turn. I want to testify.
You can't. You have to stick to the insanity plea.
But I'm not insane. I didn't want to kill them. It was self-defense.
Understand, moving all these gruesome details out, the jury is against you. A dismembered body doesn't sit well with these farmers.
I told you what happened with Sammy. That wasn't my idea.
Please, just trust me on this. I know what is best.
How can you be just so sure?
We have to look at the big picture, my dear. Avoiding the death penalty at all costs.
You think I'll be convicted, don't you?
We have to prepare ourselves for all possibilities.
Heck of a broadcast last night, Jack. Ad sales are through the roof.
That's been a revenue generator, all right.
But I suppose this gravy train's running out of track.
Well, the trial should wrap up in about a day or two.
Too bad we don't have a double murder every week. Fred, all I mean to say is, what a ride.
Wait till you hear us on deck for tonight's broadcast. Jumping Jackpot is radio gold.
Let's have a look here. Oh, just when I thought this trial couldn't get any more licentious.
Really, really salacious. Are the KOY players standing by? Still, we don't have a lot of time.
That's a big okie dokie, Jacob.
Oh, hold on. We can't put this on the air. We run a family operation here.
What's he talking about?
Sponsors won't stand for this.
I just wrote down what they said.
What am I looking? Just because it's true does not make it appropriate.
Oh, brother.
Shit. Bird's eye. Luminol. We'll lose every one of them, Jack. We're talking hundreds of dollars here.
So we run a disclaimer.
What the hell's a disclaimer?
Mr. Palmer, I had an idea of how to edit this on the fly, but the most important thing right now is to get on the air.
You're right, Stu.
I am.
He is. Give the people what they want. And what they want is the most entertaining murder trial that money can buy.
God damn it.
My God, I've created a monster.
No,